brought to you by the Municipal Councillor for the District of St. Bruno since 2013, Mr. David Tekotis. David understands his important role as a competent and honest administrator. In addition to his mandate as a Municipal Councillor for the District of St. Bruno, he held key positions on the Executive Committee as Vice President of the Executive Committee and Deputy Mayor. David chaired the Board of Directors of Société de Transport de Laval, or STL. David also wants St. Bruno to remain a vibrant community with a strong community attachment serving its citizens. Now, back to our latest episode.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Yay. See, look, Italians, we're already drinking. Already drinking. Cheers.
Cheers.
You have to. You have to, because it's a celebration.
It is. Agreed.
It is. Because,
It's a big celebration.
Because we're doing?
Wedding Chimes with Val.
Yes. And at weddings, you drink.
What? I do. I fucking do. That's
You
for
don't
sure.
play music. You're not involved in drinking. Well, no, you can't drink.
I what?
You can't drink when you're playing,
I
right?
can't drink?
Yeah.
What planet are you talking from? What are you talking about?
We thought that was
The reason I do it is so I can. The bar's open.
Open bar.
Urban bar.
Full
Like,
open bar.
come on, man.
But the reason why we do this is because...
Well, I'm a wedding planner and it's a wedding planning podcast.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Yeah, so this is where you get to learn the best booze every wedding. No, that's Vani's segment.
Just saying.
Just saying, and food. No, we're here because Val is an extraordinary wedding planner. She's actually already busy for the next year.
Yeah, it's
so
coming in slowly,
guys,
yeah.
guys, you have to book her because she's already getting booked.
Welcome.
That's how good she is.
Welcome back to another edition of Wedding Chimes with
We're not
Val.
there
It's
yet.
amazing.
I know, and
It's
that's
amazing.
why we have to push the fact that Val is here to inform,
Exactly.
to tell people
What to expect, advice, knowledge, and for today's topic,
Yes,
it's a good one.
It's
Yay!
a very good
I
one.
thought it was
That
good.
I always get asked, should you have children at your wedding, yes or no?
My
This
God.
is a big one. This is
Yeah.
a big debate. Old school versus new school.
This is good though. This is a
I-
very good question.
Because I always get asked, I think all my clients have asked me at one point, like, what do you suggest? What should I do? I don't know. I want adults only. I don't want kids. I want kids, but then I don't. It's a whole thing.
Really?
So I always ask them, okay, if there's kids at the wedding, who are they related to you? Are they like your cousin, your niece, your nephew, distant? And then from there, you can make a better decision. Because I had a few clients, and my past clients, they wanted, let's say, example, their wedding party had young, small children. But those were the only kids that they wanted. They didn't want other kids.
Okay.
But then it started to cause issues because the parents with kids, they had to find a sitter, babysitting, or have a family member not go to the wedding because they had to watch the kids.
Yeah.
So that started like a tension in the RSVP, and then it started this whole effect. So the advice I always give my couples is, well, you know your family the best. Either on the RSVP, you word it nicely. You could use ChatGPT how to word it. I love that. I love it. But you could word it saying, hey, it's like an adult only reception or adults only. And what you can even do is, let's say if the kids must be there, you could provide on-site babysitting. So the kids are, which I like, and there's a lot of, in Montreal, there's a lot of like babysitters that go to events, weddings, and they know what they're doing. They have the criteria. They're all background checked, all that good stuff, and they provide entertainment for the kids.
Wow.
So if you're unsure, I say, well, the kids could still be there. So the parents are not far, the kids aren't far. They're like in another room at the venue or in another hotel room. Sometimes, depends on the logistics. And you hire this babysitting service for a few hours, and it's a win-win. But then some clients say, well, no, I don't want kids at all.
Okay.
So there's so many different reasons. Maybe. You never know, but that's what I always tell the clients. You have an option if you are unsure, you could bring them, but you provide the babysitting service. Or you say no and you give enough time for those parents to respond so they could find a sitter, and have accommodations.
Yeah.
That's the best that I could offer, because it's really not up to me. It's really up to my client and what they wish.
Yeah.
But some from the get-go say, I don't want kids.
Now, do you think that is a good thing or a bad thing for a wedding? Because some people will say a wedding is a family event.
It's true.
Now,
That is very true. It's
so if you eliminate, for some people,
Yeah,
you know,
it
if you
depends
eliminate
on
the
every-
children,
yeah.
could that cause conflict?
I think like I always say, you have to know your guests. Either another way, like for me, I find personally kids add a little flair of fun, and you could incorporate them. You could have fun with it. You know, embrace it. I'm not saying you have to invite 20 kids.
Yeah.
You could invite, you know, and maybe your family doesn't have kids yet. So in a way, there'll be no kids, right? So you don't know. Every family is different. Everyone has different obligations. You know. You know what I mean? Like different family obligations and everything. So maybe you and your friend group and your family, none of them have kids just yet, so it'll be a kid-free wedding.
Yeah.
But if that one or two guests have kids and they have, you know, to come, there will be kids. So, you know, you could always include them and embrace the kids.
Yeah.
And what I always recommend if you're small children, you could get on Etsy or make yourself like a little bag of like fun stuff to do.
Oh, that's smart.
Nothing like with coloring, nothing to get your clothes dirty, no putty, no glue, but you could get like, I don't know, like a bracelet or maybe bubbles I could spill, but little things that won't cause a mess and that are quiet, like a stress ball or something, or
nice.
some toys. I'm just saying, you know, it depends. So you can make a little bag that you give to them, and you could leave it at their seat for the kids, so at least they're entertained for a bit.
That makes perfect
So
sense.
that's one thing I say, if you have to have kids there, if you want kids and maybe a babysitting service is not worth it, because if you have 2 kids, I don't think it's worth it for those 2 kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could provide a little goodie bag for them and that's it. I mean, have fun.
Yeah. So that's for the reception, but how about the ceremony and the pictures? Like,
Right. So I always suggest if you are having kids, you know, there is the ceremony, if they're included, like say if the flower girl or ring bearer or junior bridesmaid, is for sure you tell them, you say, hey, do you want to, you know, you ask them, and of course they'll say yes, hopefully, you never know.
Hopefully.
But let's say they say yes, then obviously you do the rehearsal with them there, so they're familiar with the venue, how to walk down the pace. You practice that a few times, and on the wedding day, pretty much their parents usually sit in the first few rows, so they know, okay, I'll go sit with my mom and dad. The kids already know where to go, and if you have a wedding planner, the wedding planner will guide those kids saying, okay, see mommy and daddy are sitting there, you go there, okay. And they know to go there. And sometimes the kids are great. I've seen weddings where the kids were pretty much perfect during the ceremony. They were great kids, no one yelling, no one screaming, everyone walking down and perfect. But then I had some weddings that they were a little young, the kids, they were crying a bit, but then the mom or dad went to go get them, and it was still cute.
Aww,
like the thing is, for me, it didn't take away, it just added more to that day, you know, it added that memory in time, you know, when example, your niece or nephew were like 3 and 4 years old, you always have those pictures there. You always remember that. And then again, for the reception, you know, that like, for pictures, what you could do is you do the picture of them, let's say in the morning. If you're getting ready, if that's the case, you can always include them earlier. Because after they might have nap time or they might be tired, you don't know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know how they're going to feel. So I always say do it earlier with them, or maybe later, but at a time where they're still in a good mood, because you never know, right?
Never know the kids.
You don't know with their mood, so that's why I always suggest like to do it like that, just to make them go first, you know. And if they're walking down for the grand entrance, well, the kids will go first for that reason, so they're out the way, they're not moody, they're in a good spirits, and that's what I suggest if you're having kids, you know. But it all depends on the bride and groom, really.
Now, babies. That is another
that's
one.
a good one.
Because it's children, but it's a
Baby.
Newborn, a couple of months old maybe, or...
I know with past experience with weddings, like some, they invited like guests with babies, but they didn't come because it's a baby. Yeah. You know, so, but again, you could invite them, doesn't mean they'll come. Yeah. If they do come, most likely they'll leave early. Yeah. So they'll be there for a bit of the festivities and then leave because they have a baby, which is, or maybe one of the 2 adults might come. Okay. So you never know. With a baby, it's unpredictable. And maybe sometimes the baby's quiet and they're okay to stay, you know, so. It's really, it depends on the parent, really, to see, because I know I had a few cases where the parents came with the baby, let's say for the ceremony, and then let's say someone else from that family, like let's say the grandma came to pick the baby up at one point. So then the parents stayed later. Nice, so like there's always ways around it. Yeah. But you have to see what's best. So I think that's what it comes down to.
Makes sense. And I mean, because I know it's also with the reception hall, you have the meals for the children. Yeah. So, and that can also play a factor in price.
That's
Maybe
true.
Is that,
Yep.
is that,
And the kids' meal, it's still a little pricey. It's not.
Ooh.
To be honest, like I think the most expensive one I saw was like $180.
for a child? And they barely even eat.
They like pick at it. They like
Yeah.
pick at the chicken fingers or the burger. They like nibble and then they're like, no. So kids' meals do add up.
Yeah.
Because the venue still has to charge for the seat.
It's true.
Like the only exception is the baby. Well, obviously they're not going to eat a hamburger, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're up in, I think it's usually the age 11 or 12, usually considered a child.
Okay.
Depending, again, you have to ask your venue what's the option, and sometimes they say it's up until 10. Okay. And then up, so you have to see what do they consider a child.
Okay.
Because maybe a 10-year-old, it's, let's say, like 11, they're still a kid,
Yeah.
but not a kid, So you have to see the venue where they stop counting them as a kid, right? Or
Yeah.
and as an adult,
So that could be why people don't want children, because they
it's an
think
added expense.
it's an added expense,
another,
but they're
like-
not going to eat it.
That's what I'm saying too. So you have to know. That's why I always say, ask your family that has kids, even before you send out the save the date, saying, hey, I'm getting married, we're getting married. Will you be coming to the wedding?
Yeah.
So you ask them before you even send the save the date.
Yeah.
So they know they can make an informed decision saying, hey, my kid will come, they're going to eat, or no, we're not coming. So at least they have a little bit of time to make that decision and not on the spot.
Now, would people feel insulted? Have you been at a wedding where they were insulted that there's no children, or
I
they were asked not to bring?
I think my clients that did say no kids, they were very clear about it from the beginning.
Okay.
That's the goal, to be very, very, very clear, saying, look, there's no kids, it's our wishes, for whatever, like, you don't even need a reason. Just
Okay.
say we want a kids-free wedding or kids-free reception.
Okay.
So you could come for the ceremony, cocktail, and then they leave.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, you have to then find babysitter at that time, have something, But I mean, the couples that did pull it off really well, they were told, like those guests were told from the day one.
Okay.
Like they said, look, we're having a kid-free wedding, it's what we want, please, if you're sorry if it makes you feel a type of way, type of thing.
Okay.
And usually, like I said, you put it on the invite, not to save the date.
Okay.
Because the save the date is like, hey, we're saving the date. Or what you could do is you send out the save the date saying, hey, we're getting married. And then you call up those guests with kids that you know with kids.
Okay.
And you say, hey, we're having a kids-free wedding. You're still invited to come, you and your spouse, but no children.
Okay.
So at least they don't feel that, like at least they have a year and a half to decide, right? Like
That's quite a long
like,
time.
At least they have time because you do have to send your save the date like a year at least in advance.
Okay.
And if it's a destination wedding, is even longer because for accommodations, flight, hotel, all that stuff.
Exactly.
So,
oh my God.
but locally, so to speak, you put it on the invite, saying like, you word it however you want to say it.
Okay.
Basically.
And the babysitters, because you touched on a really good topic.
Yeah.
So the sitters that night, I mean, what are they looking at in terms of if children attend? Costs?
Also, I mean the on-site one.
Yeah, and the on-site one, because this is great for
Right.
people to know.
Because there's actually one in Montreal, and her name is Truly Kitabulous, I think something like that. It rings a bell, and she's the only one I know in Montreal that does it, that she advertises, and she has wedding, corporate. So for that case, usually they have like by hours, like let's say 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then in some cases, like they'll make sure the kids eat in the kiddie room, and let's say if there's no kiddie room, they have a table with the babysitter watching them. And games, like
Okay.
in the same room, but in a corner, let's say,
Okay.
where they're not bothering anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why, so that babysitting service is there to help.
Yeah.
Charge, I have no idea what it charges because none of my clients ever needed that.
Yeah.
Usually the kids were sitting with their parents, but let's say if you want the parents to actually enjoy, let's say,
Yeah.
you have that babysitting service, like they come
Yeah.
to, and you say, okay, the ceremony, usually they come for the reception, not ceremony, because.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say.
But I'm sure you could. Nothing is
Probably.
stopping, So usually it's reception. So let's say let's say 6 o'clock. They come, there's a kiddie table. They could, like I think it's an add-on, but you could add like your own, like they could bring activities and games for the kids.
Okay, so that's
So
good.
they come in, they take care of the kids, and then pretty much, let's say, you say, okay, till 10 o'clock, because then people leave with their kids usually at that time.
Yeah, okay.
Hypothetically. So they're there for like a few hours and they watch the kids, which I think is a great service. If you could and it's in your budget, again, very important.
Yes,
I'd say definitely go for it. But also, you have to know the kids coming, would they be comfortable being away from their parents?
Yeah.
Because if the kids don't feel comfortable leaving their parents' side, the babysitting service isn't going to help. So you have to know the kids coming, saying, hey, parents of the kids, we have a babysitting service coming for the wedding.
Yeah.
Will your kid feel comfortable staying with a stranger, technically?
Well, you know what would be great too, that let's say, for example, if you're doing a wedding, this is an idea.
Yeah.
If the bride and groom can include the babysitter. You know what I mean? To sort of give the parents
And that's what,
that extra look. I know
and that's the service, exactly that. Maybe I didn't clarify, but
Yeah.
the service is already included. So the bride and groom, it's the bride and groom that has to hire them.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it
my
was
bad.
like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's all good. But basically, the bride and groom hire the service already.
Okay.
Saying,
Oh,
hey.
that's great.
So in a way, you say on your invite saying there'll be a babysitting service provided for kids
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
bringing kids.
Yeah.
But again, you have to know the kids. Let's say if the kids like have separation anxiety or whatever, they're not going to go with a stranger. You know
Of
what I mean? So
course.
that's why before you book a service like the babysitting service, ask the parents of the kids saying, hey, will your kid feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
And I say, honestly, don't do it if you have like 2 kids there because they consider their parents.
Yeah, of
But let's say you have
course.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids coming at your wedding, then maybe it's a good idea to have one.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on the size of your venue. Is there room for a kiddie, like
and
corner,
stuff,
so to
yeah.
speak? How old are the kids? Will the kids want to go play, right, with the babysitter, right?
Yeah.
So like it depends. It's all like even at my own wedding, I knew the kids wouldn't feel comfortable because
Okay.
they all stick together, the kids,
Yeah.
and I know that. I know them very well. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. But maybe in your case, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Can I chime in here?
Yes.
Yes, you
I've been
can.
quiet. I let
chime in,
Yeah.
Steph.
because this is I'm coming old school here. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna chime in and say because I've had this issue already,
Right.
and I'm gonna ask a quick question.
Sure.
So you had kids at your wedding.
Yes.
I had kids at mine.
Yeah.
Did you have kids
Yeah,
at yours?
of course. Yeah.
So what's the negative? How hard was it for you as a bride or a groom?
Honestly, at my wedding, I was very lucky that the kids were like perfect.
But-
I couldn't even I don't know how, but they walked down the aisle, no problem.
Of
The
course,
flower
yeah.
girl threw all the petals, like it was.
No, but besides that,
Yeah.
that's cute, and we all love that.
It is
That's great.
adorable.
Well, that's
It is
beautiful.
adorable.
But even if a kid acts up and starts crying,
But, like,
how does it affect you as a bride or a groom?
To be honest, I don't see it affecting.
I mean, you're a wedding planner, so
Yeah.
you have to be politically correct in this.
I mean, personally, but everyone is different. Maybe everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
I can't talk
Like, let's be
on
honest.
everyone's experience.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be hated
Sure.
for this because I know a lot of people are doing this. And it angers me. Like, this is all, and let's face it, it's for that Instagram shot.
Yeah.
You don't want to have kids running in the background.
Yeah, but it adds
how does
ambiance.
it, but how does
It
it
adds
affect you?
character,
If
too.
you're sitting at the honor table, now,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you as the bride or groom to go and change the diapers of the kids.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
I'm not
yeah.
asking you to take care of my children.
Yeah.
But and here's another thing, like why I freak out is like 'cause this happened to me literally last week.
Okay.
So I freak out like, okay, I put myself in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had young kids, and I get invited. Okay, let's say I'm invited,
Okay.
and I say I don't want kids running around. There's one family member or one friend that has a small child. This is my friend, cousin,
Yeah.
aunt, uncle, whatever it is. It's a family member.
It is. It's true. Yeah.
And when that kid is 16 years old, and he says, "Uncle, you didn't have kids at your wedding? Like I wasn't allowed to come to your wedding?" You have to look at your niece or
Yeah.
nephew and say, "I didn't allow kids at my wedding because," but
It's all about
it's
me.
still a family. It's still a family. To me, it's still like Olivia. Like Olivia is my niece that
Yeah.
I grew up with, and if I
Yeah.
had decided to have that rule, she wouldn't have been at my wedding.
It's true.
And I'm like, "Oh, hi, Olivia. Yeah, I like you on, you know." And the
Yeah.
people that have asked me, "Hey," they told me no kids. I said, "Okay, I'm not coming," and it was straight up.
Yeah.
Not
That-
because I
there's
want to
that
be mean.
option
It's
too,
I'm
yeah.
not coming.
Yeah.
Like you're saying no kids. No, you're saying Anthony, my son,
Yeah.
who you just spent 4 weekends with, playing with,
Yeah.
and he can't come.
Yeah.
And and it's like, how much trouble could they be to the bride and groom? Like, how bad can the party be if kids are there? Now, if you're doing a fucking naked party, then I'm saying my
Hedonism.
kids are not.
Hedonism,
My
buddy.
kids are not coming. I want to see boobs everywhere. Let's do it. You know, like you know what I mean. Like if you're doing that,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. No kids allowed because it's an adult. You know,
Only
Right.
it's an
party.
adult's
Right.
cruise. I'm not
Right.
going to bring kids. I get it.
Yeah.
But what's the? You know, I had my cousin getting married in Toronto. I didn't know it was no kids, so I got the invitation. I got to save the day. So excited, and I want to take my parents. So I organized. I fucking reserved a hotel. We rented a car because with my parents we're sick, so we rented a van so we can all fit in the drive. The whole
Right.
thing, and then I go to answer online and I see my kids are not there, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my god, I just did all of this and now they're
You're like,
what?
yeah.
And then now I'm like, but it's in Toronto, so now I have to. I gotta get a sitter. I can't leave my kids for
Right.
the weekend. They
Yeah.
have school. They have homework. Like,
Yeah,
what just
you can't
happened?
just bye-bye.
Yeah.
So I literally just called my cousin and said, "Hey, I'm confused.
Right.
I'm confused because my kids, I don't see them on the list. Is this an oversight or is it a no kids?"
kids.
And he had to say, "It's a no kids party." And he said, "Is it a problem?" I said, "No, it's not a problem. I mean, I'm not coming now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a problem if that's your wish. I'm going to
Exactly,
respect
I
your
was
wishes.
gonna say, yeah.
I was coming, but now say no because I'm not going to kill myself to get a sitter to
Yeah,
do
it's
the
a lot.
homework. It's a
Oh,
lot.
it's a lot.
Right? And he
It is
said,
a
wait,
lot.
let me find out. And he, you know, he turned around and said, bring your kids, please.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he just said, no, just bring your kids. What is it? So I'm just trying to understand what's the...
I think when it comes to this whole no kid, yes kid, no kid thing, I think it's a lot to do with the internet and Instagram and Facebook. Like there's a lot of these, like I say, influencers
Yeah.
that are like, oh, if you have no kids at your wedding, you'll save here, you'll save there, I'll save
You
here.
see?
Oh, you don't have to do this. It's like, again, I've seen it all. I've seen the pros and the cons and kids, no kids, only the immediate family member kids.
Oh my goodness, that too?
So literally, you know, I had a wedding, great couple. They only included kids in the immediate family, so cousins, brothers, yeah.
Oh
so
my
anyone
goodness.
else wasn't, like no kids wasn't, yeah.
Oh my God, I would be insulted.
I'm not taking sides or anything. It's just advice of what I seen, what I have seen, what I saw, you know, everything. Because at the end of the day, I think it has a lot to do with the online, like influencers that influence these bride and grooms to be saying, oh, if you have no kids, it'll be easier. You don't have to worry about the kids' food. You don't have to
The
worry about
cost, yeah.
entertainment for them. You don't have to worry about this.
And I don't want to put you in a
Yeah.
position to say it's selfish because obviously they're your clients. So
Yeah.
but I'm going to say...
Yeah,
on
I
my
would
end-
be insulted.
In
I
my,
would.
and it happened with my best friend.
Yeah.
My best friend, and
good.
he's divorced now, which I don't, you know.
That's
I'm,
another
I'm not
story.
gonna.
That's another podcast.
Another
That's
story.
another podcast.
This is probably the reason because his wife at that point
Yeah.
decided no kids. I was in the bridal party. No kids. I had a 1-year-old.
Wow.
So I'm in a bridal party, and my wife had to leave at 9, 8.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Because so what happened is during the day my parents had to drive my kid to get breastfed 3 times, and then at 8 o'clock she couldn't eat her meal
Yeah, she had to go.
and
yeah.
she had to go. And I'm like, it's my firstborn child.
Yeah.
You're not you're
Yeah, like,
what
where's the-
fucking problem? There was 500 drunk ass people
Yeah.
that were way worse
Than
than
a
my
child.
than a
A
child
baby just-
or the 30 that would have been there.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big? And I wasn't so. I was mad. I was like, wow, you're okay to make. You know, I'm your bridal party. I'm in your bridal
Not-
party.
Yeah, you're in the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're in the event.
I had to, and I stood there by myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I got hammered. Story for another
Are you
day.
sure you're by yourself or the other two?
But just to
Stefano,
say-
Stefano, and Stefano.
To me, if one of my guests had to leave early, anyone,
I would be mortified.
because of a rule that I made,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would be
I would be sad.
mortified.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, are you kidding? No. Are you kidding me? I would be mortified. Like, it would kill me.
It's true.
And to make that decision beforehand, it's like, what? No. Come and bring your dog, bring your fucking 4-legged cat. I don't know, 3-legged dog that needs, if your
Yeah.
dog needs to be taken care of,
Yeah.
put him outside. We'll figure it
Sure,
out.
we'll figure it out. There's always a solution.
That's
Exactly.
that's my interpretation of it. And it's and the thing is, this thing picked up speed. More
I
and more
think-
people
Yeah.
are doing
Like
it.
again, it's all I think is to do with a lot of this online TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm not a fan of wedding talk.
Yeah.
So to speak, because all this advice, it's like they're telling you what to do. It's not like make up your own mind. They're like literally telling you you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Not only kids. at weddings or no kids. It's like
Yeah.
literally everything on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you should be doing this. Oh, if you don't do that, you're a bad bride. If you don't have this, it's going to be an awful wedding. I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
and I'm like, who is this person
Who is
saying
this?
this? Like, are you qualified to
Yeah.
give this information?
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a
It's
point.
bad. I find before TikTok, sorry, Steph, for
No,
cutting
go
you
ahead.
off. I find before TikTok, this wasn't really a problem.
No.
Yeah.
Like before Instagram blew up, before Facebook, before the Reels,
100%.
before everything, kids or no kids was really your personal choice and you kept it personal.
Yeah.
But now it's like a thing. It's like you have to, or you can't
Yeah.
do that. Not only kids, it could be anything. Oh,
Yeah.
you have to have these type of flowers. Oh, you can't use that. You have to use this. Oh, you need this. It's like makeup. It's like the bride and groom makeup was best for them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
as a
Yeah.
wedding planner, that's my job to make sure it's what they respect, not what I think, not what your aunt thinks or uncle thinks. It's what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So
But
that's
you-
where I stand on this. It's
As
what
a
you
vendor,
want. Yeah.
I'm a vendor and
Yeah.
I do a lot of weddings.
Yes.
And everything is based on that photo. And I'm going to say it because
Yes.
it's the truth. The amount of money that's spent on getting that photo,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you situations where, you know, sparklers are nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or the
God,
the,
don't
the,
get me
the
started.
dry ice is nice.
I know.
And it is nice. It's nice.
It's nice when it's done well.
But when you start picking that over certain,
Yeah.
I've literally had a client, and the price for the sparklers was the same as the horn section of the band,
Oh,
which
I
is
believe you, yeah.
3 musicians,
Yeah, yeah. I
3
believe-
live
yeah.
people
God.
playing
Yeah.
trombone,
Yeah.
sax, and trumpet all night. It was the same price as the sparklers, and they
Sounds
said, "No,
about-
we want the sparklers."
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Sounds about right. Yeah.
what? And it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
To
want
each
to pay
their
for
own.
it.
You do what-
to each their
yeah,
own.
you do what
But
you wanna do.
You're doing that to get that beautiful shot,
Which is
which
fine.
a horn section in the background looks quite awesome as
Yeah.
well. But it doesn't give you the people will pay
For the Instagram.
for Instagram.
It's always
people
for
will
that-
pay for
yeah.
decor a price that it's wow. You
Yeah,
could have
it's-
hired a fucking Elvis Presley come and sing a
Yeah.
song, but instead you paid, you know, $5,000
Yeah,
just to
it's-
light up the
that's-
back of
yeah.
the wall in purple, or to
It
put
adds
your.
up.
It's crazy.
I'm not saying, and I'm just saying in general, when it comes to these add-ons, I've seen it all. You could.
No.
Yeah.
I
it's
was
so-
at a wedding, and I'm not gonna say who, and I'm not gonna go into detail.
I think I saw what you're talking about. Maybe.
Okay, it could be, and
Maybe,
and
'cause I
there
follow
was
you and I watch.
there was a musician playing
Mm-hmm.
for cocktail, and I'm not gonna say what instrument, but it was a cocktail,
Mm-hmm.
and this musician was super high up, suspended in the air,
Oh, that sounds
had
fun.
a long gown, and it looked really cool,
Okay.
but was faking the instrument. So, and everybody,
Really?
no, but the worst part is that the clients, everybody knew,
Oh.
and the price tag is
So you were
huge.
able to tell, like right off the bat, that it wasn't.
I,
Yeah.
I heard it
Yeah. I mean.
instantly before, because I didn't know that was happening. I heard it, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, this is a track. It's pre-recorded. And then
That's
when
so
I saw it
sad.
playing, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. Like, so
That's
I don't, you know,
sad.
if anyone watches, you know, I'm sorry if you like it. And it's basically to have it's more important the look
the shot,
Then
that moment, that
Yeah.
wow. It's
than
like,
the actual person. It's a fake.
yeah.
It's a fake. It's fake. It's 100% fake. It's like, would you carry around a fake diamond and pretend it's real?
Well, it depends. If it was
I guess a lot of
big-ass
people
rock.
would.
It was a big ass rock.
To me, I find that there's a lot wrong with that. And
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with this. I'd rather just say, oh my God, I would have loved to have that, but I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Be honest. It's
Be
better
honest.
To be honest than to, you know.
Like,
Well, that's it, and it goes with the kids as well.
mind
It's
you,
like-
this wedding they didn't skimp out, so I'm not gonna say
Oh, for sure,
they didn't
dude.
skimp out. But to me, it's not like I get mad at you know, when Mariah Carey has a track playing and she's faking it.
Yeah, a lot of people. I remember that the whole
Yeah.
backlash with
And the
that.
fucking, like, a lot of the generation now says, oh, but that's normal. They all do it. It's not normal. Not if I'm paying to see a singer.
True,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
If I'm paying to
I agree.
see Cirque du Soleil, yes, they're not really singing. But if I'm paying to see a fucking singer and
Enrique
she's not
Iglesias.
singing, what the fuck am I paying for?
Yeah, exactly.
The art of singing is
Yeah.
what I'm paying for, and I'm not getting that. I'm getting a light show. It's not.
True, with
it
her
angers
just
me.
there.
Yeah,
you know, just-
Anyways,
Exactly.
that's my rant.
I was gonna say.
No wonder there are no kids.
But
No, it's a little frustrating when it's you, and it's your kids, and it's like, well, I have to go to this wedding,
yeah.
yeah.
and it's you just like really put me out of my way. Like my time is important too, you know, like.
Yeah.
It's true, and that's why as a planner I give, like I said, advice. I give the pros, the cons, what's the situation, is there like I give it all.
Yeah.
So then my client could decide what's best for them. I
Yeah.
just give them what I've seen, what I've done, what I wouldn't suggest, what I would suggest. I give it all. And then from there basically my client will like decide, oh well,
it's fine.
finally,
I
you know.
get it.
I've seen it all. I've seen everything. I think I've seen quite a few,
Oh,
quite a
really?
few things with kids, with no kids. Like I said, with only the immediate family, and then the kids here, and then no kids, and then all the kids. So you name it, I've seen it. And at the end of the day, it's good to just remember that it is your day, and make sure that no one like
True.
pressures you. If it's online, if it's family, whoever, no one pressures you to do something that you will regret.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's the
good
bottom
advice.
line. Yeah, that's no matter what it comes to your wedding. Like we always say, it's your day. So if you want to have 20 kids, go for it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna stop you. Hey, it's your day.
And if you don't, it's cool.
yeah,
But just think about those 20 people that you just put out.
Yeah.
yeah,
To me, I don't know. I feel guilty making someone do something. You know, like I would never invite someone over to my house and say, "Oh yeah, keep your kids at home."
Well, no, I mean,
No,
this,
yeah.
this
Well,
is
it's the
because,
same.
don't forget, because we had a conversation on the cost of these children.
there's
they don't
an added
eat.
price.
Yeah.
Well,
Like the kids menu, like it adds up a lot, and it went up. Sorry, in the last few years, I noticed the prices for chicken fingers and fries.
yeah, no, the price adds up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
adds up the price sometimes.
But you're getting married, right?
Yeah,
So you're getting. You can also have just your immediate family.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can also have 10 people. If
It's true.
If it's price and you
You
can't
got a
afford
good
it,
point.
right?
Yeah, you can have 20 people.
When I got married, I
Or-
remember I had. I know I'm talking old school again, but I wasn't able to. I had a small. It was my second, so I had. It was small, and I did it at the Olympic Stadium.
Okay.
And we had a small. It was 120 people. So it was very hard for me to limit it to 120 people.
Right.
So I had to come up with a rule, and I said, I've got to stop it at first cousins. I can't invite
Right.
second cousins. And it broke my heart
For
because
sure.
one of my second cousins I am super close with, closer than all my first cousins.
I was gonna say, usually
Yeah,
that's what
sometimes that
happens. Yeah.
happens,
And it happened, and I had to go through with this against my
Your own, yeah. Your
because
own.
I couldn't say, well, I'll invite him and not the first cousins. I
Then
can't do
Then
that.
you're cherry picking. It's like, well, I'm having you, and then not
Ex-
yeah.
exactly.
And it goes. It's gonna start this whole thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I did call my second cousin and said, dude, I can't. If you can come after the meal and make a presence and,
Yeah.
and I'll hug you, I would appreciate it. But I just can't
Yeah.
because I made this rule and it applies to, both families
Both
and everybody.
sides, not just
and not just one. It's unfortunate
Yeah.
that you're the fucking sacrificial
Yeah.
lamb in this
Yeah.
one. No, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I know people that just invite one uncle and not the other,
Yeah.
one brother, not the
Yeah.
other.
You see it all.
It's crazy.
You see it
And
all.
I don't mind if you fought with someone and you hate them.
Okay, well,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
by
by
all
all
means,
means.
don't do that. You know,
But hey, times have changed. That's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
times did change.
Yes.
That is for sure.
And
So-
do we have a song about times
Yes.
changing?
So the song
Nice segue.
of the week is "Can't Keep My Eyes Off of You" by Lifehouse.
By Lifehouse.
I think that's the song.
Could be.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Not
yeah.
can't keep my eye. No, that's can't take my eyes off you. Can't take my
No,
eyes
no,
off
no,
you. That's a Fugees.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Hey.
Well, that's a disco song, but now
So that's the by Lifehouse. I
By
think
Lifehouse.
It's more a beat.
it's an old.
not-
It's old.
Yeah, it's like early 2000s, I think.
Oh no, I thought that's young. Really.
That's like early. Yeah, it's like
Lifehouse. Yeah, I gotta check that.
It's like 20
That's
years
awesome.
old.
I think that's what it's called. I don't know.
It's very possible. No,
I
it
don't-
is.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it is. I think
I
you're
don't
right.
know. I was watching Vampire Diaries again, so
You can't go wrong.
there we go.
The
Inspiration.
romance in there is outstanding.
I'm a season 6.
Season 6. Wow.
You
Yeah.
heard that?
See, I can't catch up now. Season 6. I can't even make
Yeah,
it to
don't-
episode
Just go back
6.
to 1 and then
Yeah,
go
that's
back
what
to 6.
I
One,
now I'm
back
trying to cherry pick. Like, I don't like that episode. I'm
Why
gonna,
do that?
I'm gonna go to this episode where I know she's. Yeah, this is the
I
whole
know
thing.
she's dating him here, so I'm
Okay,
just
good.
gonna
I'll go.
smash
I'll
right
go
into
back
there.
if you see.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the like? What are the lyrics about in the song? Obviously the title, but
I don't know. It's just.
what's the vibe of it?
It's like more a beat. It's more modern. It's not really
Okay.
like super slow.
Okay.
It's like somewhere in the middle. It's more like for the couple that doesn't want to put everyone to sleep when they're dancing. You know, it's
Gotcha.
like Because, you know, I heard songs that are like so slow. I'm like, I'm going to fall asleep. It's only like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's going to be a long one. So that's why I find more and more of my clients want these like upbeat songs now. I think it's a trend. They don't want like a traditional soul song.
Yeah.
I think they want like a remake of a song, of a remake of a remake that they heard again on TikTok. You know, and they're
Shocking.
like, oh, it's like, I want that one. It's like, well, go find a TikTok, send it. Well, hopefully the DJ knows which one it is.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, and then I even have some clients of mine that remake their own song of bits and pieces if they're that creative. Yeah. And I remember one of my clients, the dad wrote the song for the daughter. So that was cute. So there's so many variations, but I like the song because it's more upbeat. It's more, it won't put everyone to sleep. You know, it's more, it's like, gets the party like continue, like you do your grand entrance example, then you have your first dances upbeat, and then it's supper, then you eat, and then, you know, supper music background, whatever.
Nice.
So that was it. That's what I don't know, I liked it.
I like that. I love that idea. It's true.
I haven't heard it yet as a slow song, so I'm waiting. Next wedding season, I'm waiting to hear it.
To hear it.
You know, I'm eagerly waiting for it.
Sweet.
And then for the thought of the week.
Wait. Look straight into that camera. That's the one.
And bat your eyes.
It's called the Val Cam.
I love that, the Valcam.
And the thought of the week is.
So I saw this article on People magazine, and it's basically, I'll read it out. A bride refuses to move wedding date to accommodate her pregnant maid of honor sister. I put my foot down, end quote.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Wow.
So
That is a good
when I
one.
saw that, I'm like, oof, that's a good thought of the week.
It
Yeah.
is.
I think, personally, I don't even, it's just surprising, but I think if it's your sister,
Yeah.
and you picked her as your maid of honor. I didn't read the whole article. I just took a screenshot of that because
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
want to be biased because,
My
you
God.
know,
Yeah.
if that's your sister and you know she's pregnant and she's your maid of honor, you picked her.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting. You picked her.
Yeah.
So why would you move your wedding date if you already picked her and you know everything and you know she was pregnant?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Everyone's different, but to me, the way it sounds like is like you picked her. However, you had the discussion, you did say, do you want to be my maid of honor?
Yeah.
And
It
you-
sounds like.
Well, obviously she was pregnant when you
That's
picked her
what I'm
because
saying.
It's like 9 months.
Not like surprise.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But
To
on
me,
the
it
other
sounds
end-
like there's a lot more in the background.
Yeah.
That's a. I picked her because you know.
'cause I didn't want to read it on purpose. I wanted to be no
Yeah.
bias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll have to read it.
Well,
but
they probably have like a history of. I
I'm
really didn't
sure.
want. they might. I don't want to say hate each other, but
It
they didn't get
sounds
along,
like-
but they had no choice.
It's-
How do you
sounds-
know it's somebody's baby
who knows?
in the wedding party?
Who knows? It could.
Oh, Lisa, look at the conspiracy. look at that,
I'm
Lisa.
just saying that.
What's your thought, Lisa's thought? What's Lisa? Go
I
ahead,
don't
Lisa.
know.
I don't know, I'm a
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
When I read it, I'm like, I don't want to read it all because I want to like just keep it, you know.
Suspense.
Yeah, suspense. But it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, if you pick someone and you see they're visibly pregnant, you know eventually they'll have the baby
Yeah, of course.
at some point, right?
Hopefully not on your wedding. but
So
yeah.
I'm just saying, to each their own. Hopefully it gets resolved, this issue for the people here.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it is resolved. But I just think, honestly, if you pick someone, you pick them for a reason.
You pick
Yeah.
everything
If-
about it. Yeah.
If you're even if you're forced to do it, you still made that decision, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
You weren't coerced into it, or you never know. Like this,
Yeah. No,
there's
but
more
you,
to it.
yeah.
But you said okay to this person.
Yeah,
You saw
100%.
she was visibly pregnant,
Yeah.
and you still picked her. So now it's like
Accepted and shit.
it's like you have no choice but to just accept it and move on, and whatever happens, you know, you have
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
by that sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
Lisa, what do you think?
I'm a conspiracy
Look at the Lisa
theorist.
cam. Look at the Lisa cam.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, so you can never know.
You
Maybe the baby belongs to somebody in the wedding party.
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
And a twist, a spin on it.
Spin on the
Yes.
event. Maybe it's the groom. Just saying.
Imagine. Oh.
You can't come anymore. Yeah, but she wouldn't choose her for her maid of honor unless she wants to sorely embarrass her.
Now wait a minute.
That could be a good one too, huh? Just pure.
Yeah.
That's
Here's
why
my
she's not moving
thought.
the date.
Here's my thought.
Exactly.
So she's gonna
Pay
expose
the
them at the
penance.
altar.
Pay the
She's
penance.
gonna expose them at the altar.
Exactly.
Here's my thought.
All it takes.
Okay.
Just saying.
Because I'm gonna twist it all up. and bring it back full circle. They hate each other, so she picked her. She said yes, and then picked a date and said, "Oh, no kids allowed."
Yes.
9 months later, bang!
Yes, but I just had a. Sorry, that's the rule. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but who would be screwed after that? Because she has no maid of honor. Just say.
Technically, you don't. You could
Technically,
any adult over 18 or 21 could sign as a witness.
You know that I didn't have my second wedding. My father was my best man.
Yeah, you could do.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is so cute.
yeah. I had speaking.
And my mother-in-law was the maid of honor.
I
my
seen
God.
that because some couples don't want to have maid of honor groom, so they ask the parent and they
I felt guilty. It was the second one. So the first one, my brother was there and he paid a shit ton. I go, I can't ask him if fucking again.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
But,
I'm gonna look bad. Like shit, he's gotta pay
but
again.
that's why I've seen it. To just a little tip, I've seen no maid of honor, no groomsmen, because the bride and groom just wanted them up there.
That could be okay.
Which
yeah.
by all means, you make it clear, you know, nothing wrong with that. And they ask, let's say, uncle, aunt, dad, mom, whoever.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't have siblings, or maybe they're not really close with anyone in the family. You never know. So that's why anyone over the legal age of anywhere, you could technically be a witness. You don't have to be standing. The standing there, yes, is symbolic. Your maid of honor and your best man. But some of the couples I've done weddings for, they're like, you know what? We don't want anyone up there. It's just us two. That's what, and I remember
I like that.
I remember even a couple, they said their vows before in their first look. Oh. So they said their personal vows like alone to each other when it was like like she walks in her dress and it's like the reaction. Then they exchanged their personal vows. So during the ceremony, it was just like the legal stuff.
Oh, nice.
Because they didn't want anyone to really hear it. So that's another thing too.
You know, I just want, before we end off this, I'm gonna just wrap your head around this one. Because I've seen it where it was a no kids allowed wedding.
Here, it's steps.
But there was a flower girl and and a ring bearer for the pictures.
Of course.
There you go.
So how do
for
you
the gram? It's all for
right?
For
Oh, it's so cute. Look at the kids. So
Get out. It's like.
But they were so those were the only two kids allowed in the wedding.
I've seen that. Yeah, I haven't planned a wedding like that, but I've seen it. Like the only two kids, and then
So now you even made their night boring because they don't even have kids to play with.
They have each other.
Like you made all the parents get annoyed with getting sitters.
And here's just two kids running around.
Yeah.
Because you needed the picture
for the picture.
Anyway, just
food for thought.
My old man coming out. That's what it is. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Partially.
What happened to the good? What happened to the good old fucking days? You know.
The good old days.
You got that partially right.
Not partially, fully.
Alrighty.
So that was a fun one.
It was.
It was a fun. That was
As always.
That could be a debate. Like we can go on.
We could
and
go
we can
on
have
forever.
a
I
debate
feel
on
like.
that one. It's great.
Yes, that's a good.
great.
That's hardcore. That. I don't know, just like the little kids all dressed up. Posh.
Something about it.
There's just
So
something
cute.
about it.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Actually-
Coiffed hair for the boys. Come on,
Isn't
man.
it cute at the end of the night, like at 1 a.m, when you see like 8 kids in the corner on 4 different seats,
Yes.
falling
They're asleep on the
asleep?
chairs.
It's so cute. It's like they went wild.
It's
I remember
true,
my
yeah.
son, the first wedding he went to, and he saw open bar, and he wasn't drinking alcohol. He was having this Shirley Temple.
Yeah, that's
he
what they
went
can
up.
give
He
you, yeah.
pissed for about 2 hours out because he just was fucking running up there and coming back. I could go as many times as I want, and his face, he was glowing. You know.
Yeah, it's fun for them.
So much fun.
I love that.
As kids, you grow up remembering these weddings.
I remember, on my own, before I was a wedding planner, the weddings I went to as kids.
Yeah.
I remember
was the best.
as a
You
kid, I
remember them.
remember.
It's so much fun, and you're deciding to take away that memory from these kids. You know.
Yeah, I know. I remember my
Anyway.
daughter loved it. My daughter loved it.
Stop being negative. I'm gonna stop being negative.
No, but that's awesome. Oh my God, it was very informative. You know what? Anybody who has children, take Val's advice.
I'm here for that.
That is an amazing advice. Like
That
have a corner. My buddy did that, and he had. So basically, he was lucky. He had another room, and in that room he had bouncy castle and
You have a sitter.
a sitter that watched them and played games with them and brought them
That's
around.
perfect.
And there's a
That's
need for it,
perfect.
so
Yeah.
that's one creative solution.
That's amazing.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Society Art Valerie. This exclusive gallery features local and international artists showcasing their extraordinary artistic talents. This fine gallery may also serve as a venue for your special events. You can find them on Instagram and online at societyart.ca. Thank you, Society Art Valerie.